trauma. This video or sound video is gonna be about trauma. The Danish video I made was about trauma. I study trauma therapy coaching, so I feel that it's really important to talk about the trauma, especially the trauma inside of you. And as always, there's a time limit on this sound video, so you won't be getting everything that I said in the Danish video here, but I will do my very best. Yeah. There's many kind of different traumas, and I will make some separate videos about some of them. And the thing about trauma is that you can have this known or an unknown trauma inside you. And after being with this narcissistic person, this partner, well, we can clearly see that something inside us, something inside you and me, need to be fixed. Because when you allow this toxic person in your life, there's something inside you that's not in balance. And I can say that being with my narcissistic ex was a clear wake-up call. Honestly, I thought that I did all of my greasy healing because I have all these coaching skills. I'm educated in many different things regarding this, and I thought that I was healed. I had this narcissistic, slightly psychopathic father, so there was a lot from my childhood to fix. But clearly, there was something left inside me still. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been with this narcissistic man. Well, as I said, you have this known and unknown trauma. And in order to heal a trauma, you must realize that you have this trauma. And when we get a trauma, there's this childhood coding. And in this childhood coding, there's also your patterns and all your beliefs. And there is also your survival strategies. This is called childhood coding. And when you need to fix a trauma, it's like peeling an onion. There's so many layers there. And if you want to do something on your own, then you can look at your boundaries. But honestly, after being with a narcissistic person, I think it would be best for you to find a therapist or a coach to help you with this. And if you want to do serious work regarding trauma, you honestly need some help. But if you find a therapist or a coach, please promise me that you find someone you feel safe around. Because if you sit there and feel ashamed of stuff or are too scared to tell the truth, then it won't heal anything. Then it's just like being in one of those, superficial courses where, yes, if you follow these steps, you will be healed and clean and woo. You probably know what I'm talking about. And that won't help one bit. No. So there's another thing regarding trauma, and that's all the shame and guilt you feel. Yeah. And you probably know what I'm talking about, because after being in this relationship, this shame and guilt truly flourishes to the surface, because the people from the outside world say comments like, why didn't you leave sooner? Or why didn't you see the red flags? Or why did you put up with all of this? So, shame and the guilt, it's really there. And honey, let's face it, something inside you are truly out of balance. I could say broken. And that's probably due to some childhood trauma. Because, honestly, you were in a relationship with a person that showed you something you thought was love, but it was clearly not love. And even after realizing that that was not love, you stayed in it. Yeah. But promise me one thing, that you put away all that shame and guilt, because honestly, you cannot use it for anything. No. Let me say something. When you were a child and you had this home with these parents, you didn't leave. You didn't leave, even that it felt really bad and hurtful and not stuff like that. Even that it was so toxic, you didn't leave because you were a child. You need caregivers. Yeah. And the problem with this unhealed trauma is that when you become a young person or an adult, you go out in life with this. The things you saw in your home, that's what you bring out in your adult life. That's why it's really, really important to heal trauma. Yeah. Because the problem is that your mind see something toxic and it reminds it of your childhood, and it thinks, oh, this is safe. This is safe. That's what this toxic childhood coding is doing to you, because you have this unhealed trauma. Yeah. And if you don't heal trauma, you will just keep repeating these patterns regarding relationships, and you will keep up finding these toxic partners and be with them. You might suddenly think, oh, why am I in this again? Well, honey, that's why. Because you didn't heal the trauma. So, when you go to therapy, you must find a good therapist or a good coach, because you have to grab the root of this. You need to fix all this toxic coding inside you, so you can leave room for new and better things. Yeah, and once you heal all this, it will affect your life. You will be a better person, you will be a better mom, a better daughter, a better friend, a better son, and so on. But let's be honest, I won't sugarcoat anything. Trauma healing is really, really hard work. And it's old and dark pain. Maybe you sit and think, well, I don't think I have any trauma. Honestly, look at your life. Is it drama-free? Is it filled with healthy, loving people? Or do you keep ending up with these toxic people that I talked about? Well, if you do that, and if you self-sabotage, then you clearly have something inside you that needs to be healed and fixed. So, trauma healing is not the holy grail. Your life won't be perfect with sunshine and happy days and candy floss and all stuff like that. No, it won't. But it will clearly fix things regarding these toxic people, and the things you once felt like was safe because it was known won't feel that way anymore. You will be like, no, thank you. I had enough of that. No, I won't go there again. So the thing is, all humans need these connection, and you cannot create healthy connections if you don't heal this trauma. I'm so sorry to say this. Yeah. And trauma affects a child. It does. And if you don't believe me, look at the narcissist. Childhood trauma. The narcissist created a fantasy world to survive. And this childhood trauma also made an impact on the narcissist's brain. And I will make a separate video about the narcissistic brain. I promise you that. So, the narcissist is lost, cannot be healed, there's nothing to do, but you can be healed. You can fix this. Yeah, you have the chance. You do. So if you want, promise me that 2025 will be the year where you fix trauma inside you. Be safe. Take care.